Deepan Mehta now joins us. He's a well-known market expert. Deepan, what is your view on the market? Do you think this pre-budget rally that we have seen will continue? We would tend to see slightly higher expectation going into the budget in the last 1 or 2 days that are remaining.
Yeah, I think you called it right. Expectations are building up on the budget, and we saw the market rally yesterday on the finance minister's statement. Basically, I think there's broad consensus that the budget would be tough, and I think the surprising part is that markets are perfectly fine with it. They are expecting a tough budget. They want a tough budget. They want a budget where the fiscal deficit is under control, where wasteful expenditure is curtailed, and that there's a roadmap for reviving the investment cycle. So we are seeing a build-up taking place prior to the budget. But apart from that, I think there are two other important factors also which we need to consider for the rally which has taken place in the last 48 hours or so. The first is the revival of the monsoon that was causing that was a cause for concern in the month of June, and we are seeing that the monsoon finally has picked up over most of India. So that's one aspect. And secondly, I think oil prices, crude oil prices are, I think, at 3-week lows just now. And that also was going to be a major threat for our markets. It could have, put inflation and subsidy management way beyond our control. But fortunately, I think crude oil prices also have come down back to around that $110, $111 or so. So that also, I think, is gradually getting factored in. And I think monsoon, crude oil, budget have attracted a lot of foreign money as well again. And I think the numbers which we saw for the last 2 trading sessions were quite amazing as far as FI inflows are concerned. So I think things going pretty well for our markets, and let's just hope that the budget is well received by the street and we can build on these gains.
Absolutely. You're a part of BSE, or a member at BSE. If you could just tell us that what is essentially happening today. There is a network issue that we know, because of which there is an outage and prices and trades are not updating. So say if in the first 10 minutes there were some trades that were done, once we open, what would essentially happen?
See, I think that trading is about to resume pretty shortly. That's the information we have from the BSE. Also, another clarification is that all the trades which have taken place prior to the outage are going to be honored. There's going to be no annulment. Orders which are in the system, of course, will get cancelled. There's going to be a pre-open session, which means that participants can place orders at realistic prices or current prices which are there on the other exchange. And trading should resume pretty soon. I think it is a bit disappointing and unfortunate that this incident has taken place. But then, exchanges all over the world have certain technological challenges. There are some factors which are within their control, and there are some factors which are beyond their control, and this is one situation where there's an issue related to the vendor as far as networking is concerned. So as far as the BSE server and the matching system, the trading engine is concerned, that is working perfectly fine. Just that connectivity we are not able to establish with the exchange. But fortunately, I think they are resolving it pretty soon. So I would say that trading should start in the next half an hour or so on the BSE, which is the information that we have at this point of time.
Right. So essentially the trades that have gone through, the trades that have got executed and received confirmation will remain and they would be honored. But the orders which were there will stand to be cancelled, which have not been executed.
That's right.
Right. So despite the price going over there, it will not happen. So the trades which have got executed, Deepan says that that would tend to continue. Okay, sticking focus to the markets. In the budget, a very big important event that everybody would be watching out for. What are the 3 or 4 key measures that you would be looking at? The statements coming in from the PM earlier, the statements coming from the FM earlier said that there could be some strong measures that they would be looking at. What would you be eyeing out for as a market participant? Say any 3 or 4 things that you would want to look at.
See, I think for me the most important aspect I'd be looking out for is credibility. What has happened over the past 2-3 budgets or so is that we have a fiscal deficit number which has been managed because of postponement of expenditure or over assuming the revenue growth or cutting the plan expenditure. So we'd like a budget which is realistic, which puts the amounts in perspective, which makes realistic and conservative estimates and comes to a fiscal deficit figure, no doubt it may be higher than the 4.1 which was there as per the interim budget. It would be even as high as 5%. But then that's something which is workable, which the finance minister will stick to, and which is, then economists, investors, corporates can start factoring in and work around it. So credibility is most essential. Secondly, I think the big picture is going to be the major economic document of the first of the new government, the first one as that. So we would like to see the thought processes. Are there any major steps or any visionary thinking on their part, certain new plans or some new programs which they would like to implement, which may not have an immediate impact, but which could capture the imagination of the whole country and put us on the roadmap to economic recovery. So we are looking at something visionary to come out from the budget, a complete difference from what budgets have been in the past 3-4 years as far as the UPA government was concerned. And lastly, I think what one would look out for is exactly what steps are being taken to revive the economy in the immediate short term as well. I mean, whether there are some incentives given, maybe not fiscal but otherwise, that should be also something which one should look out for. So not just the long term picture, but any steps which can be taken in the short term to revive growth as well. But on the whole, what statements come through, the body language, the qualitative aspects, the big picture, the credibility, I think these are the softer aspects, I think, which will make more of a difference than the actual numbers in the budget or the actual proposals, because we all know that there is limited flexibility at this point of time.
Right. I was speaking to a market participant and he told me that this time around even the railway budget could be quite important. It will not be just about the additions in number of train, but a lot of capex that can be announced. Do you share similar view that railway budget may be different? There could be a lot of capex that we are looking at?
See, this government has come to power by promising growth, by promising change in the entire governance systems. They have come on a very strong platform of good governance, of minimal governance, of trying to make a difference to the country, and they will attempt to fulfill this promise. So yes, we should expect the railway budget and the main fiscal budget to look at the problems in a fresh light, to give some innovative solutions, to give some new ideas, fresh thinking to some of the structural problems which we are facing. So maybe this time around even the railway budget is very important from point of view of the market, and we all know the views of the PM. He is very bullish, very positive on infrastructure, and there have been several statements made whereby the neglect of the railways needs to be attended to, and maybe this railway budget could be the first major step in that direction. So yes, if you have a vibrant, thriving railways industry, then it will make a big difference to the economy, which is what the government will attempt to do. So I would say even the railway budget is more important this time round. And I think after a long time, instead of focusing on how much the freight rates are going to go up or the ticket prices are going to go up, the focus will be on exactly the investments which are going to be made and how they will be financed, and what the focus in terms of the various new corridors, freight corridors which have been identified, but no progress has been made on that. So these are the, I think, aspects which we look out for in the railway budget as well.
Absolutely. Let's talk about some sectors, some stocks that have been doing well. Defensives of late have done quite well. Anything that you like in terms of IT, pharma, and do you think that one cannot just ignore them because we feel that there will be a growth and high beta would do well?
See, I think that middle of May we were all ignoring the export-oriented sectors, and at that time the mood was that rupee would go to 58 and then 56 and 55, and that would hurt the export-oriented sectors of pharma and IT. But then we had a major jolt in the form of oil prices and even the kind of expected flows which were there, as well as RBI's management of the dollar-rupee trade. It does appear that the 60 is going to be the kind of midpoint. And what we are very glad to see is that the volatility certainly has come down in the rupee, And I think that exporters, importers can work with the number of 60 for an extended period of time, which means that all the export-oriented businesses, the defensives, there's some degree of certainty as far as exchange rate is concerned. And just as we are looking forward to better times in our country, I think globally also economy is picking up, so that benefits IT companies. And then there's this whole US generics opportunity, which almost every Indian pharma company is taking advantage of, as also the fact that other export-oriented markets are opening up for the pharma industry. So from a situation where a couple of months ago we were focusing more on domestic-oriented on the cyclicals, now we are having a more balanced approach in our portfolios, a more balanced approach in terms of identifying stocks as well. And I would be quite optimistic on IT and pharma. Coming specifically to stocks, I think in both sectors, better to stick with the large cap companies. We have TCS, HCL, Tech Mahindra, which have shown excellent performance over the past few quarters, and they are indicating that going forward this year could be very good for them, and they could see some more growth over there. Usual disclosure, we have investments recommendations. And then in pharma, I think, go with the best. Sun Pharma, I think a lot of things going for that company, not only in terms of its own performance, but also in terms of acquisition of Ranbaxy. So we're very positive over there. Again, usual disclosure that we have investments and recommendations. So I would say a balanced portfolio with defensives as well as cyclicals would deliver very good returns going forward, and it's perfectly fair because it is a de-risk portfolio, and I think everybody should be worried about capital protection at all points of times.